Hey everyone, it's Joe from Living to Learn. Just thought I'd jump on and answer or do another community questions video. This is for Mark, Ivan and Ian and a couple of my close friends as well. I've talked a bit about a guy called Ray Jardine, and Ray Jardine would be the father of modern ultralight camping, but kind of like Nessmuk would be the grandfather of modern ultralight camping. He loved his Gucci kit, but it was more the philosophy behind it that made these guys famous. Nessmuk had that whole multi-use option, like you can see it really clearly with his double bit axe. You know, why carry two axes when one axe will do a heap of stuff when you can chop and change it. And that was really kind of one of many Nessmuk's legacies that he left us. And Ray Jardine would be a modern version of that. He is a trail hiker. Now you'll see some differences between what Ray Jardine teaches and the way I pack, because I'm not a trail hiker. I'm a kind of a 50-50 kind of guy. And what Ray came up with was a system of hiking trails where he could get his kit down to 8.5 pounds, but bar what he carried, which you shouldn't really ever put a focus on. If you're ever looking at somebody's kit or somebody showing you their kit, you want to look at the philosophy behind it, not so much what they carry. And what I liked most about Ray Jardine is he pioneered this soft and malleable way of packing, like that. Not only did it do away with weight, but it allowed him to use frameless packs, because if you go on to the rayjay way, I think his website is called. It's a pretty old website. It's been a long time since I've been there. But all the gear he sells is all soft. It doesn't have zips. It doesn't have packs or frames in the packs and stuff like that. So it allows for options. Well, the one thing that I really liked about it is that, especially for us bushcrafters who carry Frost River packs and Duluth packs and soft canvas bags, it allowed a new method of packing that was better, minus compression sacks. It really showed me how bad compression sacks are, especially when it comes to packing, not just for your kit, but also how you pack. And with that, he was able to bring things forward, drop weight, and make these very uncomfortable bags comfortable again for the modern guys. So this would be the pack that most people would see me with. This is my Kenai Legion pack. This isn't really suited to it because yes, it is a 25 litre pack, but it is very small in its width, whereas it's long in its height. You can see here. So a bit unsuitable to try and squeeze a minimalist one-nighter into. I'm sure you could, but I like my comfort, and comfort weighs a bit. The pack that would be more towards Ray's is this one. It's a canvas pack that was sent by Bill Bluss this morning. Keep an eye out for this one in the future. But this is a prime example of a Jardine way of packing, or a Nessmuk way of packing. It's a pretty soft, malleable pack, and it allows for a lot more maneuverability in your loadout. So the first thing I would do is I would take my thermarest. You got to imagine now, and I would recommend to anybody who does go minimalist to make sure you scout your area first, because the area that you're going to becomes part of your kit. If you go on an overnight recce or a day trip or a scout, you can bring your journal with you and you can take notes that there's water sources there, there's maybe an awful lot of deadfall, so you wouldn't have to bring an axe when a backhoe would do, and then use the area that you're traveling to as your kit, as a way of reducing your kit. I wouldn't recommend anyway, I mean, I'm sure there is guys that do, but I wouldn't recommend anyway going into an unknown area with a very minimalist kit, unless you got some skills and stuff to back it up. But it can be a very, very unpleasant time should you do it, where it takes nothing. Hell, it's an excuse to have 2 trips. So the first thing I would do is I'd want to add a bit of rigidity to this. You can see Dave Canterbury, sometimes he uses a bin, a waste paper basket. I'll just see if I can get you a little further down. Here we go. He would use a waste paper basket in here, but I take a little bit. Again, you want your pack to be able to stay as malleable and movable as possible, so the less rigid items you got to put in here, the better. So the first thing I would do is throw my sleep pad in. It's the thermarest Pro Light. It's not the lightest one on the market, but what it does is allows me to add a bit of structure to the pack, just like a soldier would use his sleep pad in his Bergen. It's the same kind of principle. So that takes care of my sleep pad, and I've added a bit of rigidity to the pack, again leaving it soft and malleable. That's the whole key to packing this system. Next thing, I would look around and see what I got here. This would be my bivy bag. Now, you do see my bivy bag in a dry sack, but it is a non-compressed dry sack. It's just in case, should the weather turn bad. It's there, but you can still see that it's got a lot of movement, a lot of room to expand. You could, if you wished, put it in without, but in fact we'll do that because it's going in dry, and we can put the compressions or the dry bag in the pocket outside. So I would just grab my bivy bag, I just cram that in there, stuff it down, and the trick here is to just make sure you pat it down, get it into every corner. Nice and quick, really simple. So there's my bivy bag. So my sleep mat, my bivy bag in there now at the moment. We're still using what looks to be a 25-30 litre pack. Next would be my sleeping bag. And again, you can see behind me here, excuse me one sec folks. People think of leaving it all at home, and if you were a true rayjay way of packing, you would. But I would always bring a dry bag just in case something gets wet and you need to separate it. This is a 17 litre one, it's pretty big, it will take up the whole pack should I need it. Next is my sleeping bag. It's a Kelty Cosmic Down 200. If anybody's watched my videos, you would see. And just cram that in there. And just compress that down. You're just kneading it into every corner. It's better for the bag because you're not compressing it, it's still able to expand when it needs to expand. There you go. We got my bivy, which is only about this much at the bottom of the bag. We have my sleeping bag, which is now about this much, and the rigidity is being added. So next of all, in the main body of my bag, you would have my tarp. This is your standard DD. Again, I have it in, no, this is the ultralight. I have it in a stuff sack or a dry bag, just in case it gets wet, again, to keep it separated. But we can pop that out, or you can leave it in. I prefer to leave it in. But we're going the true rayjay way, so for now we'll do that. I keep my guidelines and all already on there. You can just hammer that home. And this works exactly the same way with the dry bags. Actually, should your stuff get wet, you can just put it into a pack liner, the way you see here, and roll it down and just stuff it that way, just don't clip it closed. So we got my tarp, my bivy, my sleep bag, and my sleeping mat. All in the main body of the bag, and again, still lighter, and you can see the bag is starting to fit out there. What I would do, just to give me, this is again personal options, me wandering off piste, is I would take my Pathfinder extra large haversack. It's a pretty big bag, absolutely massive, and it gives me the ability, should I need to, if I see tinder I want to carry or a bit of wood or something for a project I want to do at home, it folds up next to nothing, and I can just either sit that on top or stuff it down the sides or into one of the front pockets here. Again, slipping away. Perfecto. Now, so that's my shelter taken care of. I got my tarp, I got my bivy bag, I got my sleeping bag, and I got my sleep mat. And I'm only about here in the pack. I would take some bandanas, again, keeping manual. So I throw them in there just for drying. You could fill it up with boxers and socks if you so wished. Then next of all is my wet weather gear. This is my Snugpack Patrol poncho. This I leave because it's an oversized dry bag. And that's readily accessible. So that's my wet gear taken care of. In the front pocket here, I would add 3 tent pegs. Again, advanced planning is the key to a minimalist kit. I know I'm going to be using a plough point, so 3 tent pegs will get me out of any kind of trouble I could run in. I only need 3 and a bit of cordage. 3 tent pegs on the side here. I just bring a hank, nothing that's on a roll, again, keeping it very soft. And I pack with how I would unload at camp. It's a great way to keep a journal because you can keep track of how you set up camp. Everybody sets things up differently, but I would go ridgeline, tarp, and my sleeping equipment on the outside. Next of all, you would see my cook kit. Now this looks a bit bulky, but it's everything. It's my fire kit, it's my water purification system, it's my system for cooking on. I don't make sacrifices when it comes to boiling water and cooking food. I have a video on this on the channel, but you should always have a stainless steel container. That's where this kind of system falls down, because Ray would be a big proponent of these, the malleable squeeze bottles. And I mean, if you wanted to, you could throw one in anyway. That gives you another option for carrying 2 litres of water, and it works with the Sawyer. There we go. It's a 64 ounce, but you can see why he would prefer that, whereas me, I never leave home without something stainless to boil with. So that goes in the top. With my litre of water, again, I know where I'm going, and I know there's a water source available, so I don't have to carry a heap of water in, just a bit of water for the hike. And that would be everything that I would carry in the main compartment. So that's my shelter and my food taken care of in this 25 litre pack. Cinch her down. Now, this is just rough and ready. You could tidy it up, but it's more so the principle behind the matter. There we go. So you could cinch your snow top in, do what you need to do. Then in my front pockets is where I keep my most important things. I'd have my compass, my first aid kit, again, malleable. I would put, where's she gone? My toiletry kit. And in this pocket, or mainly in the pack, I would carry a stout knife, because I wouldn't be bringing an axe. The area I'm going to, there's a lot of deadfall. For the knife, guys, it's the SCDC 6. Or you could go really ultralight and go with a Mora and a sack. We'll do that here. Put my sack in there. You could carry a neck knife. The world's your oyster really when it comes to your tools. It's my little foot. But you can see all this kit that is being left out here that I would normally bring, but I've decided to go ultralight. My fire kit would consist of tinder and some matches, a ferro which I'd keep in my pocket, and a big lighter which I'd also keep in my pocket. I'll probably put them in there. Some good tinder. And then what I don't see here, but I will get now if you give me 1 second. Is my overnight bag. Again, I've got a video on this, but I like to keep things soft and malleable. It's got my head torch, chargers, all that kind of stuff. Just cram that in there. Now, and it still gives you plenty of room to put phones, battery cases. We'll just keep firing away here. Just gloves, again, malleable, because you're getting the idea. Cram that in there. I'll put my backhoe in here. Let's see what else. No, that'll be it. And then of course my food would be MREs and stuff, and you can just, I don't have any MREs on me at the moment, I need to restock, but you can see where this is going here. You want thin and malleable stuff, so you could put a cup of soups, you could put even a loosely wrapped or in a doggy bag like this steak and put it in here, and then you got your full load out in a 25 kilo bag, and it's not going to pull the back off you. Again, this is very flexible, you can throw it on real quick. Job's a good one. It's not going to be 8 pounds like Ray, but you can see why I don't use compression sacks. If you were to put everything in here into a stuff sack and wrench it down, you would lose this entire cavity super fast. Wait. So there you go, guys. That's just a quick lowdown on the rayjay method of packing and that is the way I like to pack. You can 50-50 it up. Some stuff needs compression sacks, some don't. But there's a heap of kit on the floor here. You can see that after leaving out. And I can get my minimalist setup into here. I got fire, shelter, water, and a method for purification, which is enough to go. But again, I am heading into an area where I have been before. That kit would be enough to get you away, you know, for a comfy night's sleep. But it's not something that I would head into the unknown with. I'm going to an area that has heaps of deadfall, so I don't need my axes and stuff like that. A stout knife would do it. I'm heading into an area with plenty of fast running water, so I don't need to carry a heap of water in with me. It's cool to be able to pack like this, but it's not always an option. You got to keep yourself safe and know what you're getting into. But that is Joe's version of the Nessmuck rayjay way of packing, and I hope it helps you guys out. Thanks for being such great members of the community and asking these questions. It's always a pleasure to answer them. Joe from Living to Learn, out.